If you are looking to buy a two-wheeler right now, you are being bombarded by two very conflicting promises. On one side, electric vehicle companies are selling you a quiet, neon-lit dream. They promise you'll slash your charging bills and help save the planet. On the other side, petrol giants are selling absolute freedom, a machine you don't leave plugged into a wall for 6 hours. You spend 5 minutes at the pump, and you can ride into the mountains without a second thought. This tug-of-war is exhausting. You just want a reliable daily commute. But instead, you're caught in a debate where both sides are heavily biased toward pushing their own products, leaving you unsure about what actually matters for your specific life. Getting this wrong has a steep cost. Pick the wrong side, and you're going to bleed thousands on fuel you didn't need, or face daily anxiety about whether your battery will actually get you home. Here is the reality. Choosing between an EV and a petrol bike is not a moral test about the environment. It is a strict equation based entirely on where you live and how you behave. To make the right call, we have to look past the marketing and understand the actual trade-off you are making. You are directly exchanging geographic flexibility for operational efficiency. Look at this chart. On the vertical axis, we have geographic flexibility, how easily you can go anywhere, at any time. On the horizontal axis, we have daily commute savings, how much cash stays in your wallet every month. Electric vehicles live down here in the bottom right. They dominate in saving you money day to day, but heavily restrict where and when you can travel. Petrol bikes sit up here in the top left. They drain your wallet every commute, but they offer you unconstrained freedom to ride anywhere. To figure out exactly which of these quadrants you belong in, we are going to audit the 4 critical phases of owning a two-wheeler. Phase 1 is the showroom floor. A standard 125cc petrol bike from a major brand will cost you between 70,000 and 100,000 rupees. An equivalent average electric scooter is going to run you between 95,000 and 135,000 rupees. Right out of the gate, the EV is 15,000 to 20,000 rupees more expensive. This chart shifts when you factor in government subsidies under the FAME 2 scheme. If your state applies them, that extra block of 7,000 to 15,000 rupees drops off, compressing the initial price gap. Next is the daily grind, a 30-kilometer commute. This chart shows the aggressive EV math. Petrol eats 2 rupees per kilometer, costing 1,800 rupees monthly. The home-charged EV costs 20 to 25 paisa per kilometer. Your monthly bill plummets to roughly 200 rupees. But to actually unlock those massive savings, you need a strict behavioral setup. You must have a guaranteed, stable place to plug that scooter in every single night for 4 to 6 hours. EVs offer a huge financial advantage on a daily basis, but only if your physical base of operations is highly predictable. Phase 3 is the garage. A petrol engine is a complex mechanical machine that relies on engine oil, air filters, spark plugs, and chains. An EV has practically 0 moving parts. That complexity dictates your service bill. You can expect to spend 4,000 to 12,000 rupees a year maintaining a petrol bike. With an EV, you are mainly just checking tires and brakes, bringing your annual cost down to a minimal 1,500 to 2,500 rupees. But this cheap maintenance hides a catch. An EV wears out chemically through battery degradation. Every charge cycle slightly reduces its total capacity. Between year 3 and year 5, that degradation hits a critical threshold. Your range drops until you must replace the entire battery pack, hitting you with a single bill between 20,000 and 40,000 rupees. Look how this changes the ownership timeline. For the first 3 years, the EV cost stays comfortably below petrol. But at year 4, the battery replacement causes a massive vertical spike. Daily savings evaporate, and lifetime costs pull neck and neck. The day-to-day cheapness of an EV is largely a deferral tactic. You aren't avoiding costs, you're simply saving up to finance the eventual battery bomb. Phase 4 is what happens when things go wrong. If you need a fast charge mid-trip, public infrastructure in India is heavily concentrated in Tier 1 cities. In a smaller town or rural district, it is virtually non-existent. If your battery dies on the highway, nobody can siphon electricity out of their tank to help you. You are stuck waiting hours for a tow or a slow charge. Run out of petrol, and a 5-minute stop gets you completely back on the road. This map shows the reality of the repair networks. With petrol, you have hundreds of local mechanics in every neighborhood capable of fixing a breakdown. For an EV, you have 1 or 2 authorized service centers located miles away in a distant city center. Because EVs are essentially computers on wheels, they have a unique vulnerability. A simple, unexpected software bug can completely immobilize the scooter, leaving you stranded 50 kilometers away from the only authorized technician equipped to fix it. Petrol bikes give you a decentralized, localized safety net. EVs require you to stay firmly within the tether of modern urban infrastructure. So it's time to run the final lifestyle audit. Based on these 4 phases, we can map out exactly which machine you should buy. This decision tree starts with one critical filtering question: where do you actually live? If you live in a Tier 1 or Tier 2 city, have a highly predictable daily commute under 50 kilometers, have guaranteed parking with a plug at home, and plan to ride the scooter for at least 4 years, you fit the profile. Follow this path and the electric vehicle is clearly your best financial move. But if you live in a small town or rural district, if your travel involves spontaneous weekend rides, if you don't have dedicated charging, and if you rely on the local mechanic down the street for repairs, then a petrol bike remains the most practical, stress-free tool for your life. Prioritizing a trendy aesthetic over the hard facts of your geography is a guaranteed recipe for a miserable ownership experience. Do not make this purchase based on an internet debate. Buy the machine that structurally matches the reality of your zip code and your daily routine.